Now, please welcome Dr. Reham to the stage so that we can start our nice discussion. Hi, Dr. Reham, you are muted. Please unmute. Dr. Reham, how are you?
Good morning. How are you, Rafa?
I'm fine, thank you. So excited to be in the discussion with you today.
Thank you very much. The pleasure is all mine. Thank you very much for having me in this event. It's always a pleasure to meet you and Dr. Mona and Madri. Thank you, everyone, for the great organization. It's also a pleasure for me to have the opportunity to sit with the future leaders in the pharma industry. So I'm
Thank
glad for the
you.
upcoming to have the upcoming 20 minutes with them.
We too, wallahi. Thank you so much. So, Dr. Reham, let me introduce her briefly and then we will hear from her. It's always nice that we hear from someone how they went through their life and how they would like to introduce themselves. But briefly, she is Associate Director Global Regulatory Affairs at Acuvia, Egypt, and she has been leading cross-functional teams, and she went through a lot of fields of pharmacy and experienced a lot of you can say career shifts, and she was very brave to successfully navigate a lot of opportunities in the field. Dr. Reham, she is well known for her great negotiation skills and communication skills. I believe you will be enlightened by her success story. And please, Dr. Reham, the floor is yours.
Thank
And
you,
I'll
Rafa.
be with you in the session so that we have it like a nice discussion, enlightening the audience.
Thank you, Rafa. It's a great introduction, actually. You summarized everything. So, good morning, first, everyone. I hope you would be. It would be a fruitful discussion and would be a benefit and added value to you on how to navigate your career. It's really my pleasure to always be here as a guest in the PharmaCC career. So, without further ado, I will introduce myself. So first, my name is Reham Alassily, and I've been working in the regulatory affairs career for over 15 years now. And the objective of today's session is to walk you through my career and my journey in regulatory affairs, and hopefully you will see that the career journey is not an easy one. It has a lot of doubts. It has a lot of ups and downs, but you have always to move forward and to go ahead and think about each step and what are the takeaway lessons from your each step and each milestone that you have, and accept always the new opportunities and the challenges. So let's start. First, I just want to share with you my personal and professional bio. So I am Reham Alassily. I'm working currently as an associate director for global regulatory affairs in IQVIA. IQVIA is a service company, so we have different clients from pharma industry, but we are not a pharmaceutical industry ourselves. So first, my bio. Second, I will walk you through the journey of my career, and I will leave a room for questions and answers at the end for if you are interested or aspiring to work in the regulatory affairs career. Okay, so I am Egyptian by nationality. I am coming from a big family. I have two brothers and one sister. My father was a professor in the university, and my mother had a career in education, and she recently retired from being a French teacher. I have graduated from Faculty of Pharmacy in 2005, so pretty old generation, and I done my business marketing diploma in 2010. About my hobbies and personal interest, I love, of course, the Italian food, yet have to take a step back because I'm starting a healthier, I decided to start a healthier lifestyle. I love a good book, a rich plotted movie. I love to do sport every now and then. I also love adventure and travel, and usually I take a week or two in the year tour around some foreign countries to learn about their culture and the diversity. Regarding the profession, as I said, I worked for 15 years in the regulatory affairs career. I joined different companies like national organization or national pharmaceutical companies, as well as multinational. And this is actually the professional career that I have in regulatory. But beside that, I do a lot of volunteer work and NGO in some NGOs. I also work or volunteer as a speaker in webinars like this one, collaborating with different universities to educate about the regulatory affairs career for the newcomers or for the people who aspire to shift their career. So this is me in a nutshell. And now moving forward to the story and what I see as a success elements.
It's amazing, Doctor, that your, personal interest had been aligned with your career, regulatory affairs and traveling. So it comes together very nice. And I believe this usually add to the motivation once the personal interests are aligned with what we are doing usually in the for living. It's always motivating us more.
Yes, exactly. Traveling is part of the journey. You get to know a lot of cultures, and working in a global pharmaceutical company with different nationality, different culture, different communication languages. Traveling helped me a lot, I can say.
Yes. It's very nice that you put for us the journey as a timeline. It will be very, very helpful for the audience to follow the pattern how it went. I'd like to ask you what strategic steps are required for a student to prepare for a successful career from your background and experience.
Okay. So let me tell you my undergraduation story. Maybe this will elaborate.
Yes.
So it goes way back at the time of undergraduation station, as I like to call it, when I realized that I want to go to the faculty of pharmacy, and that was around the high school or mid school. At that time, I was a student in a private Arabic school, so we took courses about English and German. However, the core curriculum was in Arabic. When I realized I want to go to the pharmacy college, I realized that I have to conquer the language barrier because my total study and all the courses will be shifted from Arabic to English. Here's where I started taking German and English courses, and actually that helped to smooth the way when I joined the faculty of pharmacy that I didn't have a language barrier. So in college, I realized another thing, which is how important it is to build up your own career network and to participate in extracurricular activities. And this is what I started to volunteer in faculty activities, to volunteer in maybe NGOs other than the college, and trying to build a network with people and building a learning capacity as early as possible while you are still in school or in college. It really helped and comes in handy when I graduated. I started doing my job hunt.
This is amazing. You highlighted the very important parts, and even yesterday, some of the speakers, they emphasized a lot on the networking and like how you have to be engaged in some extracurricular activities. I believe this would be one of the most important factors that will it will make you climb the ladder more faster and even find jobs easier, isn't it?
Yes, I totally agree. Yes.
And how was it for networking? For now, what we usually know is social media and LinkedIn mostly, conferences in order to meet some professionals and experts. So where it was the same when you started or when you were undergraduate?
No, it was different. Very remote from what's happening now. Actually, Facebook only launched in 2008 or 9 in Egypt. LinkedIn was not familiar to almost everyone, but you need to keep your contact via the on-ground activities, the physical activities like participating in creation of courses to the students, taking some courses that the university offers, attending or participating in job fairs, looking for internship in the summer at the summertime. So we're mostly physical activities, and even the trips, even participation in arranging, organizing, and going to the trips. This helped to that I had a good pool of friends and relation in college. They were my colleagues, and also with some of the recruiters in some companies, some of the mentors that I connected with during my internships, and all in all, this helped me to start when I started the job hunting to find a job. Also, it was not easy because the competition is huge and a lot of people are doing the same thing that I do. Now we have Facebook and we have LinkedIn and even more number of webinars and seminars talking about everything in the pharmaceutical career. So I would imagine the competition is more, but also you have a lot of other
Opportunities.
tools and opportunities. Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
And one of the important points that you highlighted, the awareness, like you noticed that for pharmacy college, there you need to know about German and English and strengthen them. So from early time, even if you don't have that big chance, you try to figure out how you can improve in those and get into what you want. So awareness is very important. Like beforehand, we have to be like having our plans and work for it.
Yes, you simply need to be ready because when the chance come, it's sometimes one chance for you, so you need to be as much ready as possible.
That's very nice. So this is regarding the undergraduate. Maybe there is the confusion period after or interval after the graduation. Immediately after the graduation, usually there is confusion, especially in pharmacists. I noticed that because we have a lot of opportunities, and we highlighted that yesterday. So maybe now some of the colleges are trying to concentrate on this issue, and they are having the clubs and the for students clubs and the happiness centers and so on. However, earlier, like in order to pass this interval of confusion, what like how you overcome it, or have you been in it actually?
Yes, yes, and it's normal, and it happens when you first graduate because there are a lot of tracks. Even at my time, there were a lot of tracks, and you are confused which track you will fit, which fits your aspiration. For me, after graduation, I started looking for the most familiar tracks that my friends used to jump in after they graduated as well. So first, I worked as a community pharmacist for six
Yeah,
months, and
community
then in
pharmacy, it's the first thing that we think about. Yes.
exactly. You have to join a pharmacy and to work as a pharmacist. And then I spent there 6 months. I decided this is not my career. And then I spent another 6 months working in a pharmaceutical company as a salesperson. And then I also decided this is not my passion. I understand that sales and marketing are passion for a lot of people. Most of the graduates, it's a big sector actually work in sales and marketing. But for me, it was not just my passion. I once I realized that, it became really important to me to search for what I want. At least I have identified what I don't want, but I still not sure what I exactly wanted to pursue. But I wanted to have a track that's self-rewarding. I wanted to join a track that's self-rewarding for me. So don't be afraid to take a quick turn. For me, I spent like 6 months in each job, and that's maybe a short time span, but you're still new, still graduating or just graduated. So it's totally normal that you flip between jobs till you find your passion. Yeah.
Yes, yes, passion and purpose. Yesterday we ended up the sessions like purpose is very important to keep you on track, to find jobs, to be self motivated. So yeah, passion and purpose, I believe, even from personal experience. Yeah, they are very essential in order for you to tackle.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
I agree. I agree.
yes. So, if you walk us through the timeline, like how to climb the career ladder and sustain progress and success after passing from the interval of confusion and
Mhm.
like having determined what you want to do and what's your profession.
Yes. Okay, so I was still in the confusion periods. I know what I don't want, but I don't know what I want. So I started again the circle of interviews, looking for a career in a pharma company because it seems like the most logic, of course, solution since I don't want to be a pharmacist. And I was mainly focusing on the either quality or production, a facility with a manufacturing site when I can work on the production lines or as a quality person. And of course, my second dream was to join a multinational pharmaceutical company. Here, where lies the learning, the greatest learning experience that I will have, the reliable systems, and also the prestigious career kickoff, as most of you might think. But actually, after several interviews that I had and several rejections, I realized that there are some old school HR personnel that are looking for talents who graduated from language schools like Arabic, English, German, French schools. So they are we're assuming that other talents that graduated from private Arabic schools don't have what it takes to fit to a multinational culture, and they would definitely have a language barrier. So no matter how hard I tried to explain my fluency in both languages, I was not getting accepted. So I decided to broaden my spectrum and start looking also in national companies that are located and based in Egypt that have a good manufacturing site to pursue again my dream in the quality or the production. So mainly while looking, I had an interview in one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies based in Egypt. They are a national company called Sidico, and if we have Egyptian audience here, they might know it. And the interviewee, she told me, listen, we don't have a place in these positions you are aspiring for, but we have a place opening as a replacement in the regulatory affairs department. And do you know anything about this? I said, no, I don't, but I'm willing to jump in. So I have no awareness whatsoever about what this track is about and what I should be doing. But I said yes for the opportunity and I jumped in. And after a year from joining Sidico and working as a regulatory affair, I realized this was a very good decision because it's a niche track. A handful of people are working in this at the time in Egypt, and handful of people in each company. So having a very technical niche career was something that I discovered it was one of my aspirations because it stand out. And this is how I pursued the regulatory career in Sidico. I stayed there for like 2 years and a half. They have a local portfolio as well as exportation portfolio in some of the CIS or Eastern Europe countries and Africa. So I also learned about exportation. I learned that regulatory also is a very overlapping department where we interact with all the function in the pharmaceutical
Cross
company as
functional.
yes, so we're fitting the puzzles. We're fitting pieces of the puzzle to complete the full picture. And this is one of the things that I again like it about, and how to build your connection with the health authority officials and how to negotiate with them to get your case approved and how you participate in the pipeline launch of a product. This was of a very interest to me.
High
So I spent
exposure.
Yes, exactly. So after a couple of years, I decided, okay, why not to look for something else? So I joined another company. It's another manufacturing site. It's a local company based in Egypt, and it's a startup. They were building their manufacturing site. And here I learned how to witness a creation of a process and how to participate in the creation of a process. I participated in creating the business development department and the exportation department out of my experience in Sidico on this part. So I had to observe how everything is being built up. And that was really self-rewarding experience. We helped to launch a good portfolio of pharmaceutical generics at this time in this company.
So the redirection guided you to be one of the developers, like in a senior level.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
And one
and
thing I realized, so go ahead, Rafa.
Yes, yes, please complete, and I will because I'm noting them down, so no worries.
I just decided that in your first 5 years, it's all about building up your learning curve, as much experience as you can absorb and digest. It will come in handy and very self-rewarding and fruitful at the future. So at this time, I was just trying to collect as much information as I can about this track, and be exposed to different portfolios, different companies, different ways of working. And I know this will get me somewhere. So my interest wasn't it was not my first priority to be financially well off at the time, or to work in the biggest company in the country at the time. I was just trying
Learn.
to build up my learning curve. Yes, yes.
And some of the key messages that I got from your period before you reach what you want is like problem solving is very important trait. Like you found that you cannot be accepted with your school background, Arabic school background. So you didn't like feel desperate and just sit and like end up حظي in Arabic, but yeah,
Getting
you found.
victimized. Yes.
Yes, you found solutions to the problem that you have, and it got you like in high places. And the other key message is hunting opportunities. Also, in some of the sessions yesterday, they emphasized on that. And hunting opportunities is really important for especially for the juniors. Like it might change what they are thinking about something, or how they will be located in the future. So
Yes,
yes,
I totally agree and echo in how important it is not to give up at the beginning, even though you're not determined on what you want to do, but at least expose yourself to as many opportunities as possible. Every skill counts, everything that you will learn, it will come in handy at a point of time. Um, and it's very important to be sufficient. And
mhm,
that also something that I learned because as I said, in the small companies, you have to solve problems. There is no well-established system, so you learn a lot about problem solving. To a point, I decided to drop all of this and to open a consultation business. And it was at a young age, and maybe I didn't have the experience at the time. But I started. Why not to take the risk and open something? So it didn't last long because I didn't
risk
have the
taking.
experience. Yes, but it taught me a lot about how to be customer excellent, and how to be self-sufficient even more, because it's your business or your consultation, you're responsible. So you have to do your work. There is no follow-up or supervision on you. So you need
Mm.
to fulfill your goals. So it wasn't maybe it was a learning step, not financially rewarding as I expected, but it was a step that's worth to be mentioned.
Hi, Reham, Madre, how are you
Very
doing?
much. All good.
Very good, thank you. It's so lovely to see you
Thank
and
you.
to hear a little bit more about your background. Just want to check, have you asked the dentist about your education question yet? All right, so Reham, we have one more question here from the audience. He is a dentist by education. Is a pharmacy graduation required for regulatory affairs? I have worked as a pharmacovigilance associate. Could you please guide me on how to get into regulatory affairs? Any courses or internships? Ooh, I can tell her that. But you don't.
Okay, we can refer to the ones about by BRA, but yes, you can simply work on yourself and take some courses to be to have the base of knowledge. There are some courses offered by some prestigious companies. If you are seeking something global, like RAPS also and Tubra, they do offer courses about US and FDA regulations, and also EMA regulation. It's a good base because our countries usually are dependent on these regulations and regulation issued by these authorities. So that's the first step. You need to go to the website of this authority and look about their announcement, free webinars, and regulation announcements. Also look for the local authorities in your region, and they usually all the authorities, they announce their publication. You read these, and it's a lot of self-learning, but you will get a tinge of what is there and what's the scope of regulatory.
Absolutely. And obviously, as you're saying, just being part and going to conferences, putting your name out and learning more every day. Because, I mean, every country also has different regulations. So you need to really stay on top of it. I just want to add that I'm going to just mention Dr. Muna Almusli. She's the co-owner here of PRA. And I mean, she's incredible. She can't remember where she had her last cup of coffee, but she can recite the regulations of what's happening off the cuff. She's incredible. So you need to really know the ins and outs of everything and how to register the products and stuff. So this is incredible. Yes, let me see if Rafa is. She's still frozen. Okay, so I think, Reham, is there anything else that you still wanted to tell the students that's particularly important on, maybe looking towards their future, a specific plan that they're making to get to where they want to go?
Yes. So I want to showcase the rest 5 years of my career, and actually this was the outcome of building a learning curve of the first 5 years. After 5 years of transaction into local companies, I started applying for multinationals, and here we have Rafa. Before I continue,
Yeah.
she's jumping
Hi.
in.
You
Hello.
can hear me.
You dropped off. We lost you for a minute, but you're back.
Yes, the network, I think there is issues. Sorry for that. So
No, it's right.
the question, I believe, Miss Madra, she told you the question, right?
She told me the question from the attendance,
Perfect.
about how to build a regulatory affair career. And then it was, I think, the time to move to another step in the timeline that we have in front of us. So I was going to talk about from 2011 till date.
Yes, please.
So about the period of joining Sanofi, of course, I was armed to the interview with my experience and accomplishments in the past 5 years. So the language was no barrier anymore. I got accepted and started to work in the multinational company in an area that needed both multinational experience or learning, as well as learning about the regulations of generics and working on a generic companies. At the time, Sanofi were planning to make an acquisition with some of the local companies on the ground, some of the generic companies to acquire new portfolios. And here, where my experience came in useful to them, I started working on these acquisition projects with the team, and we won a couple of acquisitions with different companies, and we launched a couple of products, and I got awarded and even thankfully promoted. So I started to have people to mentor, and this is another learning experience for me, which is people management, which I started, how to mentor, how to push newcomer, how to motivate them to accomplish, how to shift their minds, because some of them were coming from a sales career, for example, and we needed to shift their mind to the regulatory ways of working. So that would actually made me stand out, because in multinational, you have a reliable system in everything, and I would say that in the national companies there is more flexibility and exposure in different functions. We don't have that very structured system, so you work almost in everything, and that's what made me stand out. So at the end, yes, it became very. I realized that it was really beneficial for me, that I started like this. I started from the bottom till top. I didn't just join a multinational since I graduated, and actually these rejections came in very useful to me because they helped me to understand more.
Yes, I believe so. Whenever something happens and we have the good intentions and we are working hard, it's of course for our benefit, and we will see it even later, if not sooner. So
Exactly.
it's really very inspirational journey, and thank you so much for your time today. I believe the audience has benefited as I had. And please, if you have any questions, do send them so that we can address them now. There is no question so far for now, but whenever we receive any question for you, Dr. Reham, we will definitely contact you. And thank you so much for your nice contribution and your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rafa, for your time. Thank you for the audience. I hope that the session was fruitful to you all. And I wish you best of luck in your career. I wish that I see you all in the upcoming years working as regulatory affairs professionals and in whatever career you aspire. And maybe I have a question for the audience. How many of our audience today are interested in this track? Just for my curiosity. If you
We
can
will
just...
send it as a poll,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
and yes, and
Okay, great.
we will be notifying you so that we might have a hub in the Middle East for regulatory affairs.
That's very nice. I would love to see
Yes.
that someday. Yes, it's actually one of my dreams is that um, to participate in structured educational platform that support the young people or the people willing to shift the career to find the structured information about regulatory affairs. We don't have that yet, solid platform. So it's maybe individual efforts. So I'm doing some webinars here and there talking about regulatory, but I hope someday it's a well-structured platform.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Dr. Reham, and
Thank
I
you,
hope
Rafa.
you a very nice day, and
Thank you.
looking forward meeting you face to face.
Thank you, Rafa. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Have a nice day.
You too.